ערב שבת קודש, פרשת ואתחנן, תשפ"ב. The שיעור today will be לעילוי נשמתה הטהורה של האישה החשובה, מרת לאה, בת משה וברשני מהדב, עליה השלום. רוח השם תניחנה בגן עדן, אמן. This year, before Shabbat, falls the 15th of Av, 15 באב. On 15 באב, says the Mishnah, לא היו ימים טובים לישראל, ב-15 באב וכיום הכיפורים. These days were days, says the Mishnah, that Am Yisrael used to make shiluchim. But the Gemara counts 6 reasons why the 15th of Av became a Yom Tov. I will count some of them, and we will develop one of them. We will start with the decree that Borei Olam made after Chet Meraglim. Borei Olam at that time made a decree that none of this generation will enter Eretz Israel. Every Erev Tisha B'Av, Moshe Rabbeinu used to announce that everyone will dig a grave and he will go and lie in the grave and will sleep there the night. And people used to die on that day for 39 years in the desert. On the 40th year, the last year, before they entered Eretz Israel, people on Erev Tisha B'Av, they digged their grave, they went in, but in the morning, they woke up. In the beginning, they thought that they made a mistake in the day. Therefore, they continued lying in the graves, and they were waiting till the 15th of Av, and then they saw that everything is fine and they remain alive. Therefore, they made the 15th of Av, when the moon is full. They understood that they will remain alive, and therefore the 15th of Av became a Yom Tov. Another reason brings the Gemara about a story that happened in the time of the Shoftim with Shevet Binyamin, that they made a very bad thing with the story about Pilegesh Begiv'ah, and Am Yisrael, all the tribes, made a decision that no one will marry anyone from Shevet Binyamin. This decree that the nation did, they stopped it on the 15th of Av. Therefore, this became a happy day that everyone can marry everyone. There is another another good thing that happened on the 15th of Av in the time of Bar Kokhba. Bar Kokhba rebelled against the Romans, but the Romans, they caught the city of Beitar and they killed all the people there, and they didn't let them to be buried. And their corpse remains like this on the ground a long time. On the 15th of Av, the decree changed, and the Goyim, the Romans, they let the Jews to bury them. Therefore, the 15th of Av became a Yom Tov. Another thing that the Gemara brings has to do with learning Torah. What is it? Says the Gemara, on the 15th of Av, they stopped cutting wood for the altar. Means, on the altar, Am Yisrael, the Kohanim used to sacrifice the korbanot. The korbanot used to be burnt on the altar. For the fire, they needed wood. There were families of Kohanim that they used to donate the wood to the Mizbeach, to the altar. They used to go out to the fields and they used to cut wood. When did they started to cut the wood? There are two opinions. One opinion is the opinion of the Rashbam, that they started on Chodesh Nisan and they finished on the 15th of Av. The Maharsha, he brings another opinion, and he says that they used to start to cut the wood on the 15th of Shvat, on Tu B'Shvat, and they finished on Tu B'Av, on the 15th of Av. Why they stopped on the 15th of Av from cutting the wood? Says the Gemara, because of a natural reason. The wood for the Mikdash must be dry. So when you cut the wood in the summer and the sun is strong, the heat is strong, the wood dries. On the 15th of Av, the sun becomes weak, and the sun will not dry the tree totally. And if the wood will not be dry totally, worms will develop in the wood. And it's not nice, it's not kavod that on the altar you will burn wood with worms. Therefore, on the 15th of Av, they stopped cutting the wood anymore. Explains the Rashbam, what is the Yom Tov that they stopped cutting? Explains the Rashbam, באותו היום שפסקו, at that day that they stopped cutting, היו שמחים, they were happy. לפי שבאותו יום היו משלימים מצווה גדולה שכזו. Because they completed to fulfill the mitzvah of cutting wood to the altar. But what the Rashbam says is unclear. Why did they stop cutting the wood? Because of a natural reason. The sun is not strong anymore. It became weak. And if the sun wouldn't have became weak, they would have continued cutting wood. So how can you say that the reason is because they completed the mitzvah? It's not completing the mitzvah. You stop because the time doesn't fit anymore to cut wood. And beside of this, why we don't make a Yom Tov for every mitzvah that you finished, that you completed? It is true, from here we are learning that when you're making the siyum of a Masechet, you are making it's a Yom Tov. But all the other mitzvot that we fulfill, and we complete fulfilling, we don't make a Yom Tov. So why here? Therefore, Rabbeinu Gershon explains the reason of Yom Tov in a different way. And he says, you know why we are happy? Because till now, the people that they were busy in cutting the wood for the Mikdash, they didn't learn Torah. They were busy. And from the 15th of Av, that they were not busy anymore, they were sitting and learning Torah. Because of this, the 15th of Av became a Yom Tov. But this explanation of the Rabbeinu Gershon causes also a question. Who was cutting the wood? The whole nation. They're making a holiday for the whole nation. Who were cutting the wood? A little group of people. Some families of Kohanim. So because of some families of Kohanim, that now they went back to the Midrash and they continue learning Torah. Because of this, you are making a holiday for the whole nation? Explained Rabbi Karelitz in his book Chut HaShani on Hilchot Shabbat, in the 4th volume. He explains that from here, from the Rashbam, we are learning that even if a little group of people are joining learning, it becomes a Yom Tov for the whole nation. Every Jew that learns Torah helps the nation, because the existence of the world stands on the learning of Torah. Till Matan Torah, the existence of the world, says the Gemara, was by chesed of Borei Olam. 26 generations from creation till Ma'amad Har Sinai, Matan Torah, the world exists. The existence of the world was because of chesed of Borei Olam. The Gemara says these are the 26 Ki Le'olam Chasdo, that it is written in Tehillim, and we are saying it on Shabbat. 26 Ki Le'olam Chasdo, parallel to the 26 generations, and Chasdo, the Chesed, hold the world. From Matan Torah, the world, the existence of the world was on the learning of Torah of every person. Therefore, this is the importance of learning Torah even by a little group. And this is a holiday for the whole nation. This explains the meaning of Rabbeinu Gershon. On my tip of the tongue stands something that I must say. I knew a person that every man that joined learning Torah made him happy, and for him it was a Yom Tov. Who is this person? The president of the Lebanese congregation, Dr. Isaac Mahadev. He established shiurim in the shul. Every Shabbat, he used to come and to check how many people are sitting in the shiur. And every time that he saw that the shiur grew, more people joined, for him, it was a happy day. And therefore, I must say that he followed the way Am Israel on the 15th of Av. I want to wish everyone a Birkat Shabbat Shalom, and we will meet in a session next time. Shabbat Shalom.